All right, so we're here doing something very different. I'm not talking about helping home buyers. I'm not talking about helping home sellers. Today, I'm talking about helping realtors. My name is Abhishek Basin with Remax Realtron and Team Car. And over the last year, maybe over the last 18 months, there's been a mandatory wellness program, health benefit program that all realtors have had to opt into. But the truth of the matter is, nobody knows what those benefits are. Nobody knows what the program is. And this conversation started when I met with my old dear friend Sushil's from Altona Financials and Altona Insurance. He helps individuals with their insurance needs, and more specifically, he's catering to helping realtors identify where the gaps are in the wellness program that is mandatory for them to opt into, as well as what other coverage they may require based on their family needs, financial needs, and even own personal needs. So, welcome, Sushil. Say thank you so much for joining us on this call. And I guess I'll just jump right into it. You know, you had this conversation with me. It was very candid. You asked me, do you know what you're actually really paying for? And in this, Oriel wellness program. And my simple answer to you was, no, I have no idea. I clicked pay. I have no idea what my benefits are. I don't know what or where I should be claiming benefits. And you had a very frank discussion with me, very simple discussion with me. And this is what I'd like to share with our fellow realtors out there. So if you don't mind, Sushil, we'll just jump right into it. What is the Oriel Wellness Program?
Yeah, thanks, Abby, for reaching out. I'll go very briefly through what the program is all about. Just kind of recapping what happened and how this came about. This happened in 2023 when Oria was having talks with the realtors to bring a program, and there was a lot of realtors who said, yes, let's do it, and the lot of realtors who said, no, we don't want it. So there was a lot of outcry about it. Anyway, Oria won at the end of the day, and this was implemented January 1st, 2024. The program is a simplified program of what insurance is all about, health insurance. But what they did was they combined three or four different aspects of the insurance into one package. I'll go through the package with you right away so that your friends and all the other realtors know what this is all about. The program is called the Ontario Realtor Wellness Program, and there's five components: one, two, three, four, five, six components to it. And I'll read out the first component, which is the life insurance. It's a small life insurance. This is just for realtors. It's not for their families. It's just for themselves. And this life insurance is $100,000 insurance, which gets reduced to 50% at the age of 65. So it's a very basic insurance. It's nothing that will, in today's kind of debts and mortgages, it won't cover your mortgage. Your
No,
mortgage
and
is fine.
for most realtor salary, that doesn't even cover the year's salary.
That's right. That's right. So this is 100,000, and again, it gets reduced at age 65 to 50%. So really, it gets to 50,000 at 65. So not a huge coverage, but it's there. It's something. It's better than nothing, right? So that's the first component. The second component is what's called an accidental death and dismemberment insurance, which again is also $100,000. So that means if you're in a car, for example, there's accidental death, or you're in an airplane, air crash, or whatever accidental happens, they give you another 100,000 at that, and there's no. But both these insurances are life and accidental death. There's no age limit; it doesn't terminate, so it's there as long as you live. So, like some life insurances, like the term life, for example, as you probably know, that does end at a certain time. This one doesn't, from
Yeah,
my
that's good to know
understanding.
because my father, I don't think, is ever quitting the business. I think he's
Yeah,
going to be a realtor for life. So it's good to know that I'll keep
right,
going for him.
absolutely. The third component of this insurance is called critical illness insurance. This is something I am very, very strong with, and I'm a licensed life insurance agent. And I tell all my clients that please look at critical illness. And critical illness is something, just to kind of give you a brief, uh, uh, just a brief of, overview of what it is. It's basically an illness that can come to you and depend on the insurance company. There's one insurance company that covers 26 illnesses. So any one of those illnesses you have, they'll give you a lump sum payment. Depends on what your policy is. Usually, When I cover people for the critical, I give them $50,000 policy, and so if that I give example cancer. If you have a cancer or Alzheimer's is another one, you will get that 50,000. You can prove that that's the illness that you have. It's a lifelong illness. So that's how the money is given to you. That money you can use it anywhere. People ask me all the time, say, why do I need that money? Oh, it will cover me. I said, not really. Think about it. You're critically ill at home, you got cancer, or yeah, you can go to hospitals and get your coverage for cancer treatment. But what about the extra needs that you need? You may need somebody to help you at home. Where's that money going to come from? You cannot go to work, for example, because of the critical illness. Where's that money going to come from? So it's the ancillary sort of services that you may need and the loss of income that is where critical illness comes in. So it's a fallacy to say that OHIP will cover me, right? Does that make sense to you?
No, that makes sense. I
Yeah.
guess, after you explaining all that, one question that comes into mind is, it sounds like they've tried to cover us from all fronts.
Mhm.
Where is the gap in the policies, or are there any gaps? Is there something else that realtors should be considering for themselves and their family?
Absolutely. As I said, this is a minimal insurance. There is not a big amount. As an example, the critical illness that this particular the real estate board, their Ontario real estate program, the one I'm talking about, that only covers $25,000. It's not a lot of money. And again, that reduces 50% at age 65 and terminates at age 70. So think about this. You're paying for this insurance, but at 50% less at age 65 and 70 at age 70 is gone. So it's not a whole lot of money. So what I say to people, even realtors, I say, okay, you got this insurance, but let's do a review of everything that you have, your family and whatnot, because this is not going to cover a whole lot, and you may need to top up on this. And the top up is where I come in and say, okay, what else can I do for you? So that's what it's all
Okay, so speaking
about.
about the top up, I know one question I had was that
Mhm.
if I were to purchase additional insurance through you, through
Mhm.
any other insurance broker that we have as friends or clients or whatever the case may be, does it negate this insurance that we're paying for?
Absolutely not. So whatever you got with the Ontario Real Estate Board, ORIA is there. So as you probably are aware or not aware, when you buy life insurance, you can buy multiple contracts. So it's not like car insurance. You got one car insurance and that's it. Life insurance, you can have multiple packages, multiple insurances, and you can cancel them. You can keep them. It's very flexible. And I know people, my clients, who got two or three different policies. So life changes, and the reason this happens this way is, let's say you get a policy when you're age 20, and now you're age 40, for example. Things have changed. You may need more coverage, and the policy that you got age 20 is a contract. So that is a fixed term contract, it's a term insurance or whatever else it is. So what I do at that point is to
Mhm.
give them another policy at age 40. That is what a top up is. The top up is not the right word for that. It's just another policy that I give them so that they have additional contracts. So basically they can have two contracts for two different life insurances. And also a good thing you can also do is to have different insurance companies. So let's say you have insurance with Sun Life as an example, which is a very big company, very well known. I've had clients who bought a Manulife insurance. So this is mitigation of risk as well. So everything is done in one insurance company. You have two or three different insurance companies.
Okay, and that's very helpful to know because I think a lot of people think that once they have some coverage, that's it, nor do they need more, or nor can they get more, and that's not the case clearly. One thing that really alarmed me,
Absolutely.
that you had brought up to me was that in this basic coverage that we have as realtors, our family members are not included. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Now, I did contact the administrators for this insurance just a few days ago, and I asked them the same question. I said, what is the situation with family? And what they told me, there's only two components of this policy that are included. Even that is optional. So if you didn't get that optional insurance at the beginning, which was January when this insurance started, then you have to wait till I think it's November now, November 2024, when you can opt for the additional members. But again, it's very limited. It's only for travel insurance. So whatever travel insurance you have, I believe they will also have that. You have to opt in for that. And think the other one was the healthcare insurance. So those are the two components that you can have. But the other part, the life insurance, the accidental death, critical illness, the out of country, that is not there. So they cannot get it. So
Okay.
the out of country dependent. That's sorry. So what I'm just saying is there's two coverages: out of country emergency and the healthcare program. That's what you can add your family for.
Okay, so that seems pretty limited in terms of
Absolutely,
coverage for your family.
absolutely.
Um, so not only is this a common skepticism from realtors, but I think just in terms for anybody who's considering insurance,
Mhm.
many people that think they're healthy, nothing's going to happen to them. You know, at the base minimum, with this program, do you think this is adequate enough to cover, you know, uh, a realtor who has, let's say, a family of two, or do you think that a top up is required? And you know, what are what are the common hesitations you're seeing with realtors, with people getting additional insurance?
Abby, this is a good start because if you look at the statistics, from the research I've done, it depends on the different researches that are at different places have different numbers, but it's 30 to 40% of people who are really insured properly. Properly means they covered everything, right? The rest of the population, 60%, is not covered. Right? This is generally not about realtors, but everybody else. So the problem we have here is this is a good start because without this insurance, realtors, I presume, did not have insurance, or a few of them did, but maybe huge number of realtors were not insured at all. Now, at least they have some kind of insurance, so it's a good start. It's brought the awareness of insurance as well. Just like you have a car insurance which protects your car when it's damaged, and your body, when you get hurt. The same goes with your own body because your body is also is health. If you don't perform, whether you're living or not living, it does not matter. If you're not performing, even when you're living, then there are consequences to that, and that is where one has to look at the whole picture. It's not about just say I got coverage of 100,000, for example, life insurance. It's meaningless because what will that 100,000 do for you? What are your debts? What are your mortgages? What are your lines of credit that you have? Right? Who's going to pay if you're not around for loss of income, for example? Usually, when I talk about that, I look at the income levels, I look at the debts, I do a whole package, I do a whole analysis. From that, I come up with a number. I said, this is a number that comes up based on the analysis. And everybody's different. I can get two families, three families, and their numbers will be all different because their needs are different, their debts are different. So it's a whole kind of analysis that I perform free of charge and at no obligation to anybody. And at least my job is to inform people so that they know, what the consequences are of not having this. So to answer your question, if this is not about just having the realtors insurance that exists here, it's just a start. It's something that I should sit down with any realtor and go through the whole package, the package that ORIA has offered, and also their expenses and see what else they can do with it. If I find that they are very well covered and they have other policies and whatnot, then it's fine. At least I've done my review. I've given them the numbers, what they should be covering, what the coverage should be. And if they have that, then it's all good for them. And that's the whole idea of this.
Yeah, you know what? And I agree. I think it's first of all commendable that you're willing to sit down with any of the realtors and just do a free analysis of their situation. I also think that it's very prudent for realtors, being a fellow realtor, that you take this seriously. You don't know what's going to happen to you in life. I myself this year
Yeah.
just
I,
purchased insurance myself because, you know, especially if you've experienced the markets that we have in the last 2 years, your income is fluctuating and you don't know what could happen to you. You don't know what your family situation could be. And having that additional coverage, it's worth the monthly expense. I can say it from firsthand. At least now I can go to sleep knowing that me and my family are covered. If anything were to happen to me, my daughter, my wife, they will be taken care of. So I know there's a lot of hesitancy from not we're speaking to realtors directly, but just in general about this whole insurance industry and whether or not people should buy insurance, if it's a waste of money. Some people think that they're great in creating great income, they have amazing businesses, and it will always provide for them. What's the one piece of advice that you would give to them if there was any insurance product that you would suggest that not only realtors top up on, but just the general public purchase? Which one would it be?
Abby, you were disconnected. Can you just repeat that question again?
Yeah,
There was a
yeah. So my question is that there's hesitancy generally with purchasing insurance, right? A lot of people believe that buying insurance is a waste of money, it's a waste of cash flow, but it gives you a peace of mind knowing that if anything were to happen to you, your family is covered. So speaking to the realtors and speaking to the general public out there, if you had to say this is one product you should top up on, if this is one product that you should make sure that at least you have insurance over, what would it be?
Before I answer that question, I have a question for you. Think of you driving a car. You drive to work every day, right?
Yeah,
This is mandatory insurance legislated by the government. Let's say this wasn't true. Let's say, like in some countries, car insurance is not mandatory, right? You're on your own. So I'm going to ask you a question now. So you're driving a car, you don't have insurance, and let's say you had a severe accident. Now you are badly hurt, your car is totaled, the car will be replaced, but now you are out of pocket. First of all, the car that you got replaced, obviously you have to get money for it from wherever because nobody's going to pay you for that. Secondly, you are injured in the car accident, and let's say since you didn't have insurance, nobody's going to pay you anything. Now what are you going to do? And I'm talking about not dying. I'm talking about living. Now you're living. You're disabled. You have what not, right? This is what we're talking about. The issue is that life insurance is not mandatory. That's the problem. Had the government made it mandatory, and I don't know in any country if it's mandatory now, but in Canada it's not mandatory. So people think that's a waste of money because it's not mandatory, and they think, I'm going to live forever, or I'm not going to get injured, or I'm not going to die. But that's not true. Everybody's going to pass one day. Everybody's going to leave this earth. That's the truth. Um, and as far as living benefits, which is another question I was going to come up, that is where this really comes in. Now, people think also it's very expensive. That's the reason they don't get it. So this, I'm spending, I don't know what, $50 a month on this insurance, and I don't need it because I don't see any value. I don't see any payout. Well, the payout can be there if something goes wrong. Same like car insurance. When you pay car insurance, you don't quit. You don't say, I'm not paying it. And you don't get anything back. Let's say you pay your car insurance for 20 years and you don't have an accident. That money's gone. The same is true with life insurance. It's covering that risk if something does go wrong, because then you're out of pocket and it can be huge costs. And especially things like disability. If you're disabled or you have critical illness, right? That's even worse than somebody just passing away, because passing away, okay, things
well,
will
you make a
get
you you, you make a
taken
very
care
good
of.
point. If car
Yeah,
insurance was not mandatory, I can guarantee you half the population would not have get car insurance, right? And the only reason we have car
absolutely.
insurance, it's a need. The only reason we have mortgage insurance is because we can't get financing and lending because without it. So you're right.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, you
Absolutely.
know what? This has been really informative. I think on a base level, this gives realtors a great insight as to what the program covers and where the shortfalls are. Um,
Yeah.
so, Sushil, you specialize in helping realtors uh, in their insurance needs, in creating a plan that works for their life requirements, their family requirements. Just like you sat down with me and you had advised me, how can other realtors reach out to you? Where can they find you? How can they contact you for your free consultation to help them create that plan?
So they can call me or text me anytime. I know people are busy nowadays there, and I find that it's something hard to call people, but they can also text me. I'll give you my number, which is 416-477-7175. Again, 416-477-7175. I also have a website called Altona Financial, Altona financial.com, and my information is there. And yeah, just reach out to me and then I'll be able to help them. As I said, this is no obligation to anybody. I can go through the review with them, with either the Ontario Real Estate Board insurance and anything else they might have. They might have other insurance. It doesn't matter. For me, it's just a review, and then they can take it from there on what to do next. I hope that
Perfect.
helps.
Fellow realtors, for a free consultation, if you have insurance, if you don't have insurance, I recommend you sit down with Sushil or any other financial advisor that you have in mind. You know, so all Sushil's here to do is to tell you that we are undercovered. It's great that we have a base and it's great that we have some sort of coverage, but it's not enough based on our type of business, our lifestyle, our family orientation. Sushil's here to help. Reach out to him for a free consultation. And all I can tell you is that you're going to get an honest opinion and you will get, candid response from him. If you're covered, he'll say, great, you're on your merry way. And if you're undercovered, he'll give you the right advice as to what you need and what your family needs as a coverage. So, Sushil, thank you so much. I think this will be really beneficial to any of the realtors who decide to watch this episode. I know insurance is um, bland concept in most people's mind, and I understand that most realtors are very disgruntled with the fact that they're paying into this mandatory program, but this program is good. It's great that we have some sort of coverage, but it's not enough. So reach out to Sushil, and any questions, please. He will help you along the way. So thank you so much, Sushil, for your time. And you know what? I think was a great series. And if anybody has questions, please, we'll leave Sushil's comments and contact information. Reach out to him.
Abby, thank you very much. There's one other thing which I thought I'd mention is I have a flyer which outlines the program, the real estate program. It shows all the different things that are covered in that. Also show the cost is there as well. And I can email that to anybody that wants that. So please reach out to me and I'll email that flyer to you.
That's perfect. Email Sushil. He'll reply with that flyer, so you'll have a basic sheet and understanding of what you're covered for. And if you have any questions, he's there to help.
Thank you again. Thank
Okay,
you for your
thank you,
time.
Sushil. Bye bye.